Broadcasting live from the Business Radio X studios in Atlanta, Georgia, it's time for Atlanta Business Radio, spotlighting the city's best businesses and the people who lead them.
Lee Cantor here with our producer, Katie Galley, another episode of Atlanta Business Radio, and this is going to be a good one. I got with me today Justin Hackney, Senior Growth Hacker with Dragoons Media, here to talk about some marketing trends that business should pay attention to in 2018. Welcome to the show, Justin.
Lee, appreciate you having me.
Well, Justin, can you talk a little bit about Dragoons Media? How do you serve folks?
So what I tell people when they ask me what I do, and this is how I sort of differentiate myself from the rest of the racket that's out there in the marketing world, is I build out digital sales funnels. I don't care how we do it. We have a lot of amazing developers on our team that build out automated robots for things like LinkedIn and Facebook and different social media channels. We build out amazing landing pages. We build out sales cadences, whatever we have to do to increase sales for small, medium businesses. That's what we do.
Now let's talk about some terms before we get too far into this. Is a sales funnel different digitally than it is in the real world?
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely things that that you can do for your business online that you cannot replicate face to face. Right. Obviously, face to face is the best way that you can produce a sale. That is, a meeting that you set with a potential client is revenue generating activity. But how do you get those meetings?
Right.
Right. And now what we're talking about is that funnel, right? And I think that a lot of salespeople and a lot of organizations, they make a mistake in that, they're spending 80% of their resources on prospecting. And in 2018, there's just so many tools that are out there that can allow you to prospect at scale without giving up the quality of the message when you are prospecting.
Now, what are some examples of ways you can kind of let digital help you with your prospecting?
Great example of that would be a chatbot, right? And this is something I'm really bullish on in 2018. Businesses are going to start seeing a lot more chatbots being activated for different industries across the board. It's a really powerful tool. Chatbots, when people think of robots as it pertains to sales and customer service, I think a lot of people go back to those, calling a customer service line and getting some sort of robot that's giving you different options and that sort of thing. That's not what I'm talking about here. I'm talking about a robot that is using natural language processing. You'll see that word in this space a lot, as well as basic artificial intelligence. So it's having an intelligent conversation with your customer, and it's leading them down a sales funnel that wasn't possible, pre-2015. It was something that you had to do manually, or something you had to really scale out by hiring a massive customer service fleet, or a bunch of salespeople. Now you can do this automatically with a robot, and it's amazing.
Now, are these chatbots those boxes that appear on some websites that say, "How can I help you?" or they're asking you a question?
Not at all. Not at all. These chatbots, primarily what I have my customers doing is that we'll build out a chatbot that lives on the Facebook Messenger. And let me just premise this with this. Chatbots are not a new thing. The idea of a chatbot is not necessarily a new thing, but the delivery method and the technology that is being put into these chatbots is very innovative. Just a couple of years old, honestly. So things like, payment processing on Facebook Messenger. This just came out of a beta this year. And so think about that. If you're a small business that is selling a product online, typically what you would do is you'd go and you would send them to a product page. They would, click the Pay Now button, and it would be sent to a separate page. And it's just this very clunky process. Now it can all be done on Facebook Messenger. So you're having a conversation, an intelligent conversation with a potential customer. You get them to the point where they want to buy your product or your service, and then you can send them a pay button on the Facebook Messenger, and they can pay out right there. The process is seamless, it's efficient, and it just works. And that's, let me just say this really quick. And I said this at the beginning, I don't really care how we produce sales. What we do is we produce sales funnels for small, medium businesses. I'm not religious on, what platforms we use, what tools we use, but if it works, it works. And right now, when you're looking at the chatbot world, let's just compare it to email really quick. Okay, so email is getting about if you're lucky, 20% open rate, right? Chatbots, on the other hand, are getting like a 90-95% open rate. So these things just work. That's the bottom line.
And they don't require kind of human interaction. They're working while you're sleeping.
They're working while you're sleeping. There is a setup process. So you obviously you'll want to add your own flavor to the chatbot. You'll want to, when you're setting it up, you want it to seem like it is a salesperson or a customer service rep from your business. And your business has its own language. Your business has its own brand. Now, what I will say, and this, I don't know if this is your next question, but everyone always asks me this, is do your customers know that it's a robot? And if they do, how do they feel about talking with a robot? I never tell our customers to trick anybody into thinking that it's an actual human being, because that will make people mad, So what we do is we make it fun. And you mentioned forms, Lee, a second ago. Ask yourself, would you rather fill out a form by having a conversation, a fun conversation with a robot, or would you rather sit there and take 5-10 minutes to fill out this long form on a clunky website, right? And be sent to emails and be sent all over the place. I think that you would choose the former.
Now, what are some baby steps a business can do if they wanted to experiment with chatbots?
If they wanted to experiment with chatbots, well, the first thing I would do is I would direct them to successful chatbots in their industry and actually interact with those chatbots. So as a media channel, right, Business Radio X, a media channel, I would direct you guys to CNN's chatbot. They have an amazing chatbot, and just play around with it, see what that does, see what sort of interactions you can get out of it, and then start building a list of ideas for your own business and for your own bot. The next thing I would do is there's a tool called Bot Society. And Bot Society is great because what you can do is you can build out a mock chatbot, and you could see it. It has a function where you can export a video file and actually see the chatbot working. And it's just a really amazing tool. Our business uses it when we're working with clients, when we're creating mock-ups. We always use Bot Society. And then lastly, I would choose either a platform like ChatFuel or ManyChat if you want to do it yourself. If you want a custom chatbot that has a lot more integrations, like integrating into different APIs, or you just don't want to handle it, you want someone else to handle it, I would go to an agency like Dragoons Media. There's plenty of agencies out there that build out amazing chatbots, and that's what I would do.
So now, chatbots are one tool for companies for 2018. What about the platforms that they should be using? Is it still like LinkedIn and Facebook and Twitter and Instagram?
Depends. Are we talking about a B2B or B2C?
Your dealer's choice, you pick.
So if we're talking about B2B, Facebook and LinkedIn, that's where the traffic is being held. Now, Facebook and LinkedIn are a huge part of our marketing molecule and a huge part of most businesses' marketing stack, right? And it's just because of the scale. I mean, there's, what is there? I think the last I checked, there's 3.5, billion people on Facebook or something like that, some crazy number. Maybe it's not that much. I think it might be like 1.3 or something. But, I would also start exploring, as a business, I would start exploring different channels like Reddit. Reddit's huge. It's a massive channel that you can advertise on, and it's going to be a lot cheaper than it would be to advertise on a platform like LinkedIn. So I'll just start playing around, and as a marketer, 90% of your job is to just test things. You're throwing spaghetti at the wall all day and seeing what sticks. So explore all year round, be exploring different channels. But yes, if you're B2B, the main channels are go heavy on Facebook and LinkedIn. That's going to be the story. I can't see this changing for at least another 3 to 5 years.
Now, do chatbots integrate nicely with those platforms?
Absolutely. So Facebook has released an API back in late 2015 for developers to develop chatbots on Facebook. LinkedIn does not have that capability currently. I can see them making a move that's similar to Facebook's in the next 3 years.
Now, are you seeing any fallout from the Facebook privacy issues that have been bubbling up in using chatbots and other kind of automated marketing?
Absolutely. So, during this whole Cambridge Analytica debacle, there was plenty of businesses that were at an absolute standstill because their whole business model was predicated on Facebook and developing apps on Facebook. And that's something that we do as well. Luckily, we have other services that we offer, so we weren't, completely out of luck. But what I think that's going to come from this Cambridge Analytica thing and Mark Zuckerberg testifying in front of Congress is I think it's going to solidify Facebook, and I think it's going to solidify the legitimacy of their security efforts. And it's going to make, it's also at the end of the day, it was attention. What were we all talking about, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? We were talking about Cambridge Analytica. We were talking about Mark Zuckerberg. You're still seeing the fallout from it. And in this day and age, it seems, anyways, that any sort of attention is good attention. And so I think people are going to start paying more attention to things like chatbots and these different tools that businesses can use to grow their business.
Now, if somebody wanted to start doing more marketing via LinkedIn, are there ways to do it without using technology? Is there some old school ways that you can just kind of beginner's way to leverage LinkedIn?
Well, engage with people. I always tell my clients and even people that aren't my clients is really the first thing I say when we're talking about social media is you want to be successful on social media, you got to be social on social media. And a lot of people and a lot of businesses fail at that. Definitely a lot of professionals that rely on their own personal brand, whether you're like a financial planner or a consultant, you need to engage with your clientele. That means not coming out right off the bat and selling your product or your service. That means just getting out there and talking about what they're doing and just being genuinely interested in and passionate about what you're doing and what your clientele is doing. I think that's, at the end of the day, there's nothing that you can do to automate that.
Now, is that part of what Dragoons does with their clients? They help them kind of get the client clear on the best ways to leverage some of the platforms, maybe look for some easy wins in some areas that the company's not leveraging. Is that how you serve your clients?
Absolutely. So we, obviously we have training courses that we can send our clients to, or we could do live seminars where we sit their salespeople down, we sit their marketing staff down, and we say, okay, this is what we see is working, and we will apply that to their business model. Again, we're not religious we're agnostic as far as the platform is concerned. We just really care about what works, what's selling. So it's important that even if you don't have an agency that's helping you with this, that you have a marketing team or your marketing team, or if you're a solopreneur, if you're a consultant, something like this, that you're just testing things, you're trying things. And as far as testing is concerned, I would test things for at least 3 months. I would give it a chance. You'll see that especially with LinkedIn, if you're in the B2B space, and I presume a lot of people listening to this are in the B2B space, LinkedIn is going to be a huge part of your marketing molecule. Give it 3 months. Start engaging with people. Reach out to people. Set meetings through LinkedIn. Follow up with your customers on LinkedIn. Keep them engaged. Start posting. Write articles. A lot of people don't know this. You could write. There's a blog platform on LinkedIn called LinkedIn Pulse. Write an article once a week. These are things that are really important to growing your business.
Now, Dragoons, you mentioned, specializes in helping people build out sales funnels. What would be a top of the funnel kind of activity for people if they wanted to leverage LinkedIn?
If they wanted to leverage LinkedIn, I would integrate a tool called Linked Helper. There's also a sort of a tool that mirrors Linked Helper called Duck Soup, I think. But I always have my clients integrate Linked Helper into their LinkedIn funnel. And what that does is it automates a high quality message to a highly targeted segment, whoever that segment is in your business that you want to reach out to. And so I can go on and on about Linked Helper and how that's helped our business out and automate the LinkedIn funnel. But it basically takes care of that prospecting for you by putting in 5-10 minutes a day. You can prospect at scale without sacrificing the quality of the message.
Now, for some companies, they need help, and other companies need a helper. In your services, some of it sounds like it's consulting where you're teaching them, your clients, how to do some of the work. But do you also offer services where you're doing the work on the behalf of the client?
Yes. So a lot of the things that we will do, that we'll handle, are more of the the development work, just because it's really expensive to hire developers, and especially in-house developers. So we'll handle all of the landing pages. If they need robots built out, they need chatbots built out, we'll handle that. But there's certain things that, look, marketing is, there's no free lunch in business. You have to put in the work if you want to succeed. And so, you could look at an agency or an additional marketing team, and you could think to yourself, this is a supplement to our business. But the core of your business should be coming from your team, your employees, and they should know how to do these sort of things, and they should be building up their own personal brand and leveraging their personal brand into the business. So yeah, we do both, and I think both are important. And a lot of businesses fail at realizing that when they hire an agency, it doesn't mean that the work stops for you. It actually means that you have more work to do.
Now, what does the ideal prospect look like for you guys? What industry or niche do you serve?
Right now, again, I'm really bullish on developing these chatbots and integrating these chatbots into the sales funnel. And so the industries that we're really focusing on are the sports industry, because you could think about a chatbot replicating a ticket booth, right? So the sports industry, the events industry, small, medium businesses that are selling a product online, and they're looking to automate that sales process, as well as the training and education industry, because what chatbots can help a recruitment firm, for instance, do is streamline the onboarding process, or streamline the initial onboarding process. And so those are the sort of three industries that we're focusing on. And typically who we're talking with is, if we're talking about a small business, it's the CEO that has big ideas and looking to grow their business. Or if it's a medium-sized business, generally it's the marketing manager, the marketing director, typically, are who we're talking to that are leading that initiative.
So if somebody wanted to learn more and have a substantive conversation with you, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Go to dragoonsmedia.com and interact with my chatbot.
That's it. Dragoons, DRAGOONS media.com. Thank you so much, Justin Hackney, Senior Growth Hacker with Dragoons Media. We will see you all next time on Atlanta Business Radio.